So what is going on in this video? I'm going to break down what exactly I am doing. Make it very simple for the average person to know in terms of when to withdraw. I know a lot of people have money in crypto, a lot of money. A lot of people have, their money invested into the market, and they wanted the magic question: when should I get out? What should I look for? And I'm going to explain to you guys right now, because sometimes that 30, 40, 50, 60, 100x on the account that we want might not happen. And that's the reality. You might get a 7x, you might get an 8x, you might only get a 6.7x, but you need to have clear factual indications on when to exit. In this video, I'm going to break down my few things that I'm checking off in order for me to withdraw. So the first thing that I'm going to be looking at, guys, is obviously Bitcoin dominance. Now, in very simple English, my intention is not to confuse you, but essentially educate you on what this is. This chart basically just shows how much money, percentage-wise, you guys can see here, is in Bitcoin. There is trillions and trillions of dollars as a whole in crypto, and a large chunk of that is in Bitcoin. That's the simplest that I can describe Bitcoin dominance chart. Now, what we want is we want Bitcoin dominance to reach between 50% to 45%. This is the green flag for me to start saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to start taking profits aggressively. That is a major thing that I need you to understand as well, because right now we are not an altcoin season, in my humble opinion. I believe that we are in that last window before we get altcoin season. Now, why do I believe that? Is because there is basically 1, 2, 3. There's 3 phases before we get into the take profit zone. Now, phase number 1 is between 60% to basically 65%. I should drop this a little lower, but basically that's where we have accumulation. This is where basically 65 to 60% of the money is circulating in Bitcoin's ecosystem. Now, this doesn't mean that we start, putting money in altcoins right away. This doesn't mean that we start, gambling on meme coins. No, this means that we should start accumulating smartly. So every 2 weeks when you get paid, every week when you get paid, every time, if you're an entrepreneur, you make a sale, you take a portion of that and you throw it into your crypto account. If you're a day trader, you take a portion of your profits and you invest it into the market daily, weekly, every 2 weeks, every month, whatever the case is. Now that's between 65 to 70%. So we're not on altcoin season yet. We want this thing to go down. Now, between 60% to 55%, now we are in something called altcoin season loading. That means that we're extremely close. We're like, the window is getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller before we have that euphoric run, which I'll explain to you what that basically is. Now, once we get between 55% to 50%, that is when we are in full blown alt season, where you see coins go from a few dollars to, I'm talking close to 40, 50, 60 bucks within a 24 to 72 to, 100-hour span. I remember the last crypto cycle when I was involved in crypto in 2021. I think it was like about 850, almost $900 into Shiba Inu. And I kid you not, guys, I was refreshing my Coinbase. This is before I kind of knew about crypto security, so I had all my money on Coinbase. But I remember I was refreshing my Coinbase app, literally laying down on the couch in my living room, and I was seeing 800, 1,000, 1,400, 1,700, 2,000, 1,300, 2,000. I remember, I swear to God, there was one time I saw my account go from that specific portfolio of just Shiba Inu go from like almost $800, $900 to close to $3,000 within a single day span, because I got into the crypto market during something called the meme cycle, which is the ending of crypto, which I'm going to explain to you guys a little bit more in this video what it is. But that's when we start getting, altcoins really running. Now, once we get to 50% to 45%, that is when you want to start taking money out of the market. Remember what I just mentioned? I just mentioned to you guys that I got into crypto during the end of the last crypto cycle. Now, What was the end of the last crypto cycle? It was November. Look at the bottom of my screen. You guys can see here, like I'm gonna literally do something like this. Like if you guys look down here, you guys see all the days. So if you look this way, my apologies, this way, you guys see 2026, 2027, 2025, all the years. Look at the bottom. It says November 2000 in 2021. It says December 2000 2021. I circled it right here. It literally says a day at the bottom right over here. You guys can see that we were at basically, you should be fully out. This is very dangerous zone. So at this point, guys, this is me speaking real facts. This is where I was able to turn a little over 2,100 to almost $31,000 in a span of like, I would say, so I got into crypto like July, June of 2021. And I basically exited in February, close to February of 2022. So we're talking like right here when we start going back up. Now, my obviously 31K wasn't that. I just took out about $19,000, which is a great profit, but I didn't know what the hell I was doing back then. Now I'm very, very well educated. But the whole point, guys, is that I don't want you guys to do what I did and ruin and lose, a huge chunk of your profit because you thought it was going to keep going up. So what did I just mention? When we are at 50% to 45%, that's when we want to take profits aggressively, no matter what the hell your account is at, no matter if you're not happy with the number that you see. Guys, I have goals to make millions and millions of dollars when it comes to crypto. Now, am I going to be pissed off if I see 110,000 in my account or 85,000 in my account and say, no, I want $1 million. I'm going to keep holding until it reaches 1 million. That is stupid. I'm going to ruin all my gains. So I have a straight plan that, hey, when this is reached, I am taking up profits super aggressively. And if you work with me one-on-one, I will message you. And then it's at your discretion to basically do whatever the hell you want to do. Or if you're in my group chat, I will drop it in the group chat. Hey, get the hell out. It is time to take profits. So that's the big key thing. Now, another key thing that I want you to look at is Bitcoin and ETH chart. So again, this chart shows me basically when money is flowing out of Bitcoin and into Ethereum. Now, if you guys don't know, Ethereum is the #2 cryptocurrency in the whole crypto market. Now, Ethereum is an altcoin. In order for us to experience a euphoric altcoin season run, this bad boy, Ethereum right here, has to shoot above $4,000 in my humble opinion. Now, once we start seeing this right here go up, then we start going into alt season. So I want to see us reach between 0.08 to about, I'm going to put an alert right here live on the Zoom call, to about 0.73. So at this point, I want to start looking to take profit out. And this aligns perfectly to the Bitcoin dominance chart. What happened here, guys? Look at this. Look at this. November, look at the bottom of the screen. November 2021, we were at the top of the chart. And then what happened here? December 2021, we were at the top of the chart. Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin strength compared to Ethereum was weak. And then what happened? Money started flowing out of Ethereum back into Bitcoin. We saw a small little pump in March, and then boom, we dropped. We had a little bit of a pump late 2022. And then what happened? The FTX collapse happened. I'm not going to explain to you what that is because it's irrelevant. I'm not trying to confuse you. I just want to let you know when to get out. And look, boom, all the money from altcoins flows back into Bitcoin. And a lot of your coins go 60, 70, 80. Some of them are going 90% in the reds. And right now we've touched the bottom. Now, what happened when we touched the bottom in 2021? It happened in January. What did I mention before? January 2021 to May 2021, we had the first massive leg up in altcoin season in crypto. And obviously we saw, coins like Solana, like ICP do ridiculous gains. We saw ICP go from $21 to a little over 700. We saw Solana go from $2, $3 to like 180, 200 bucks, like within 5 months. So that's why I'm telling you guys, when we get into altcoin season, don't worry about screenshots. Don't worry about, hey, I want my account to be at this level. once the indicators are checked off, you better be ready to take your money on it, as I am going to be hella ready. And the same thing happened in 2016. We shot all the way up. We had a mega cycle, and then boom, August 2017 came, and then we dropped. We had the bear market, and the same thing happened up here, and then we touched here. Altcoin season ended, and then we dropped. We consolidated. What happened during 2019? If you guys know, COVID-19. What happened during the end? We started seeing, shutdown of the world. Then what happened? People were uncertain, and then boom, we had the bottom around March, between summer going into the fall of 2020. We had the stimulus check where everybody in Canada was getting $2,000. Everybody in Europe was getting, $1,500. Everyone in the United States was getting $1,500. I believe every 2 weeks. Some people were refusing to go back to work because they were getting the $2,000 stimulus check. And during this time, the dollar was dropping in value. Interest rates were at zero, which is going to be another thing I'm going to talk about shortly, and the market absolutely ran. So that's the second thing I am looking at. Again, I'm going to simplify this for you. If you guys listen to me, you guys will be profitable in the next 6 to 5 months. The rest of this crypto cycle that we experience. Now, the third thing that I'm going to look at, guys, is Twitter, known as X. I want to see what is trending in Twitter in North America. Obviously, depending on your Twitter, depending on your location, geographically, it's going to be different. I know I have a couple clients that I work with that are in Germany, that are in the United Kingdom, and their Twitter the trending page looks very different than what mine does. So obviously, most people here are North American, so we want to see this say Bitcoin. We want to see this say altcoins. We want to see this say, Coinbase, XRP, XLM, Chainlink, Bull Run. We want to see these things here. And as of right now, no one is talking about it. Like no one gives a shit about crypto right now. People are talking about WWE. People are talking about, Brock Lesnar. That he just made his return. I saw it on my TikTok. People are talking about SummerSlam, the pay-per-view that happened yesterday for WWE. No one cares about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency right now, a market that can completely 180 their life. So that's something that you guys have to be aware of. No one cares about it. But when interest comes in from the retail investors or stupid money, that is your key to start looking to get out. Now, the fourth thing that I want to look at is something called Google Trends. Now, when this right here, so right now, crypto in terms of Google research, search trends, right now, crypto is at 46%. And mind you, this is in North America. This is in Canada, we're 45. I believe the United States, they don't even care, which is a crazy part. They're at 37%. This is the most important thing that we're looking at, the United States. When this is at when this is at like 80, 90, 95% is when you want to start looking and coordinating Bitcoin dominance. Twitter trends, Ethereum, Bitcoin chart. Are they aligned? Okay, maybe it's time for me to get out. So that is the fourth thing I'm looking at. So to recap, right? Let's rewind for a second. I want this to make sense to you guys. The first thing we're looking at, guys, is Bitcoin dominance. We want Bitcoin dominance to drop to 50% to 45%. The exact same level we were in 2021 when we bottomed right over here. Now, by the time we get here, by the grace of God, we get to 45%. You should be fully out at this point. You should not be in cryptocurrency at this point, because this right here is when stupid people get in. This right here is when your coworkers are talking about it. This right here is when retail is getting involved and stupid money is coming into the market. And this is when smart money takes their profit, and basically people say, oh, cryptocurrency doesn't work. Well, it's not that it doesn't work, Bobby. It's that you just didn't know. You weren't working with someone like Johnny that watched the charts every single day. So that is step number one, Bitcoin dominance. Now, step number two is the Ethereum. It's the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. I want to see how this reacts compared to Bitcoin dominance. Once we get to this level between 0.07 to about 0.08 going into 0.09 Ethereum to Bitcoin value, so to speak, then that's when I want to get out. So as you guys can still see, we have a long ways to go. A long way to go, even to get to 0.07% or 0.07 ETH for one Bitcoin. So we still have a long way to go, but it gives us an opportunity to still keep buying. So that's something else that I'm looking at. I'm looking at Ethereum Bitcoin dominance chart. Then I want to look at what's going on in X. How many people are searching up cryptocurrency? How many people are talking about XRP? How many people are talking about HBAR? How many people are talking about bull run? Like these keywords that I'm looking for to look to start taking profit. And then of course the big one is retail. How big is the US in terms of interest in cryptocurrency? As you guys can see here, no one gives a shit about cryptocurrency right now. And it's crazy if you really think about it. Bitcoin is at 100. What is it? Let me check my chart right here. Bitcoin's at $114,000. We had a 61% growth from from July 1st to July 3rd, the end of July. I think it was the 31st. We had a 31st day. No one's talking about it. We had HBAR, for example, one of the coins that I'm heavily invested in. We saw HBAR go from for the month of July, go 116%. It 1x'd. And no one is talking about it. No one cares. So that's a good thing. That's another thing I'm looking at. And then some bonuses that I'm looking at as well is what is Coinbase doing in terms of App Store? Where is it trending? Is it number one? Is it top 5? Once you guys see Coinbase a top 5 app downloaded on the App Store, it's your cue to get the hell out. So that's kind of what I'm doing, guys, for me to look to take profit in this market. Of course, I want a 15, 20, 30, 40x as a total of my whole account, but I'm not going to hold the bag. Once I see these profits, guys, once I see these levels get hit, Bitcoin dominance between 45 to 50%, us trending on Google search, especially in the United States, trending on Twitter/X, the Coinbase app being one of the top apps downloaded. And then the last one, the cherry on top, number 5, when random people that you had no, or it's not that you had no idea, random people that weren't interested in cryptocurrency out of the blue are talking about it, like your coworkers, the Uber drivers, the cashiers at your grocery store. It's funny because whenever I buy food, I always say to every cashier, hey, don't forget, buy some Bitcoin. Hey, buy some Bitcoin. They all laugh and chuckle like it's a joke. But once they start talking about, hey, have you heard about cryptocurrency? You should invest in cryptocurrency. Once you're seeing your coworkers talking about it, people in your family, grandmothers, grandfathers talking about it, people that aren't really that interested when it's down and only interested in it when it's up, it's your cue to start taking profit. So hopefully, guys, this video brought you some value. Make sure you share this with somebody and make sure you have an exit plan, because again, it's not about these make-believe profits on your phone. It's about you executing sell and clicking the sell button. It's about you saying, hey, I'm going to get out because life-changing gains come only every 4 years when it comes to crypto. And we are in that small window of opportunity. Let me go back to my chart. We are in that small window of opportunity where we have literally limited time before we run. Like if Bitcoin dominance drops by 10%, we reach 55%. And shit's gonna start going really, really high. Now the last catalyst, right, that I'm looking at is this, guys. Rate cuts. So if you guys don't know what rate cuts is, the next one is going to be in September. We have a 91% chance that we get rate cuts. Now, if you guys don't know what this is, in reality, this is basically the interest rates when it comes to borrowing money in the United States. That's like the simplest way I could say it. And the United States right now has, I believe, a 4.4 or basically 4% interest rate. which is very high compared to any other country. I know Canada, I'm from Canada right now, from Toronto, we have a 2.1%, which is 2 times less than the United States interest rates. And Jerome Powell right now is in hot water because he fabricated the numbers. And they found out recently that he fabricated the numbers when it comes to the job market. So that's why he hasn't cut interest rates, because he believes that, hey, job market is good. There's no need for us to cut rates. There's over 250,000 jobs, but there was literally a discrepancy, and only 73,000 jobs were created in these last few months. So rate cuts should have happened months ago. We should have already been in altcoin season. We should have already been in euphoria. I wrote it here. Hey guys, this is literally what I sent to my group chat. It's in my bio. It's in my bio on my Instagram. Join it for free, and I have my personal chat where I work one-on-one with some people. But regardless, the whole point is I wrote this. I said, hey guys, quick breakdown of what's happening in the markets and why crypto could be setting up for a big move, even though we had a massive flush. We had a massive flush last week in both crypto and stocks. In the July US reports came out in a way weaker. Came out way weaker than expected. Only 73,000 jobs were added. And previous months we were revised lower by lower by over 250,000 jobs. That means that the job market hasn't been as strong as the Federal Reserve has been preaching. They fucking lied. The Fed has been lying about the numbers to hold off rate cuts. Again, a move to shake out, P investors that can't handle volatility. And if you sold, you're just a clown completely, and you don't deserve any gains in crypto, in my humble opinion. This false strength had the Fed holding off rate cuts, but now with the real data out, there is a very, and I mean very extremely high chance, 91%, that we get rate cuts in September and going into Q4. Now, and this is going to give us the fresh liquidity and the alts that we want. So when they cut rates, more money is printed. When more money is printed, the dollar drops in value. When the dollar drops in value, risk on assets like Bitcoin stocks and gold and metal, all these assets go up in value rapidly. So it happened in 2021. It happened in 2017. Now, I wrote this. What this means for crypto, pay attention. I wrote lower rates means push more money into risky assets like Bitcoin and altcoins. Bitcoin already hit 118K, hit a high of 118K, 123K, and it still has a strong demand from institutional buyers, even though we dropped. I'm not going to get in depth, but the banks are freaking scooping this as we speak. Major businesses like MicroStrategy are scooping this as we speak. If rate cuts start soon, BTC could run to 150 to 200K. Ethereum could run to 4.5 to 6K by the end of the year, which would rally a altcoin season. This might be the last solid window to add before another major leg up. And in summary, the job market isn't as strong as it seemed. So the Fed is likely, very likely, 91% likely, to start cutting rates soon. The good news for crypto, that's good news for crypto. If you're thinking of adding to your account, this might be the next time. This might be the time to do it before we run up in September the 17th. And if you want clarifications, I dropped a good YouTube video on my group chat. And like I said, guys, the market is going to shoot up. And the thing that I want you guys to understand is, the last few Augusts, we had pullbacks, and we currently have one right now. And what happened after every pullback besides 2022 and 2023 when we were in a bear market? What happened in 2020? Boom, a massive move up over 500%. What happened in 2021? We had a move up from literally it was 40K to about 80,000. We had a 2x over 200%. Then we had the exact same thing in 2021 where we saw basically price go from, it was about 79, 80K, and it jumped all the way upwards to 120K. So the whole point that I'm trying to say, guys, is do not freak out and pay attention and make sure you guys are ready when it comes to start taking profits, a lot of people don't realize that the window for taking profits, it's going to be like 2 weeks to 3 weeks. And if you don't take your money out during that time, whales, big hedge funds, and banks will destroy you. And you're going to be that guy, that girl that said, oh, I was up 60, 70, 80, 90K, but I didn't sell, and now I'm holding the bag and my account's at $2,000. Don't let that be you. Remember, no screenshots, take money out, and hopefully, guys, this video brought you some value. Make sure you share it with a friend that's in crypto, and let's connect if you ever want me to help you one-on-one. God bless you a ton, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one.